does that mean it's time to get your old asic from under your bed or order a new one, whatever the price? Governments got really interested in Bitcoin mining too, and this could be a new 2021 trend. Currently, Ethereum miners earn more than their Bitcoin colleagues. Welcome back to the Coin Post. On January 7th, Bitcoin miners made $45 million. That makes almost $2 million an hour. But not on Bitcoin alone. Ethereum miners now earn even more from huge fees, the best proof of which is the highest level of the hashrate. I mean, I'd like to join the miners myself, just teach me how. That's what we're gonna talk about today. What the crypto mining is gonna be like in 2021, what has changed fundamentally in the industry, what are the prospects, and what should a private miner do today. And I remind you to give us a thumbs up so that YouTube promotes our channel and gets in recommendations. Thank you for your support, and let's dive in. Let's look at the Bitcoin revenue chart for all time. It's surprisingly similar to the Bitcoin price chart, except that the price is now higher than at the end of 2017. This is actually due to the fact that last May the third halving of Bitcoin took place and the block reward dropped to 6.25 BTC. In 2017 the reward was twice as big, so the miners would get more income, but the point is, it was a short-term thing, triggered by going to the moon. The market is now adjusting to the long-term upward trend, which will allow miners to get a pretty high reward for their work over the next few years. So, does that mean it's time to get your old asic from under your bed or order a new one, whatever the price? Unfortunately, no, because if there are still questions on profitability, then the Bitcoin hash rate clearly illustrates the growth rate of this industry. The market is already divided by the big players, and the large share of hash rate that falls on the unknown mining pools should not be misleading. Under their disguise are also various companies, like the digital currency group, which owns the Grayscale investments, and has their own mining pool. In a hurry to enter this market is the crypto bank Galaxy Digital by Michael Novogratz. And I mean, it's just those who admit to moving in this direction, as a lot of companies just mine Bitcoin quietly. So last year Bloomberg found a huge Russian mining farm connected with the billionaire Oleg Deripaska. Ukrainian billionaire Kolomoisky was also interested in Bitcoin, although due to certain circumstances he's doing that in the USA. So the big companies and billionaires are just the tip of the iceberg. Governments got really interested in Bitcoin mining too, and this could be a new 2021 trend. So far it's Venezuela and Iran. The countries came up with an interesting scheme. All miners have to register and work in a single national pool, sharing revenues with the state. In return, they are promised cheaper electricity or a work permit. Because in Iran, authorities seized 45k Bitcoin mining machines that they claimed were used illegally. This practical approach by various states to Bitcoin mining will gradually lead China to lose its leading position, which is generally good in terms of decentralization. What we can say for sure for the current year is that hash rate will keep rising, provided there is an upward trend in the Bitcoin price. Thus, the entry barrier for this business will continue to increase, and it's already at a level where there is simply no point entering without sufficient funding and a clear business plan, because big players will keep increasing their capacity as the price increases, thus leaving no chance for private miners to make a profit. Of course, it's possible and necessary to join the large mine pools, but even there it's worth taking into account your device power and the electricity cost. I'm sorry if it's not what you wanted to hear, but it is what it is. Next, I'm gonna tell you if it makes sense to mine cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin. Most miners never spent a cent on Bitcoin, but started with Ethereum mining, creating various problems for gamers. There was a recent video on the channel on Ethereum price prediction for 2021, including the future of mining. You can find the link in the description box in case you missed it. And in the meantime, I'd like to remind you that the classic Ethereum miners in 2021 are not at risk yet, because the transition to the Ethereum 2.0 version will take a very long time, and all economic activity will be carried out in the current version of the blockchain. Today, Ethereum miners must be happy with the fact that Vitalik Buterin and the company originally launched on the proof-of-work algorithm, and now it's unable to cope with the current network load due to the growing hype around the decentralized finance sector. Today, the Ethereum hash rate hit its high and it's just broke through the price of January 2018. Currently, Ethereum miners earn more than their Bitcoin colleagues through more transactions and higher commission fees. This is, for instance, the average transaction fee of Bitcoin and Ethereum. As you can see, they're very close to each other, and Ethereum clearly wins in terms of the number of transactions. Ethereum has around 1,100,000 transactions per day, while Bitcoin just 300,000 transactions per 24 hours. So if you're an Ethereum miner, I strongly advise you not to tell this to anyone, so that gamers don't find out about you, because the demand for cryptocurrency mining has led to an increase in the video card price by $100. However, it's extremely difficult to buy them even at this price. If there's more activity than buying video cards, it's you subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you all for your support, and don't forget to join our community. The good news is that Nvidia is once again thinking about producing separate video cards for mining. The thing about these cards is that they don't have a graphical output, and you can only do calculations, in this case mining. But it's not yet clear whether there's gonna be more of them, and if they'll be able to solve the deficit problem. The thing is that Ethereum is no longer the lot of private miners. Big businesses don't mind earning money from mining it too. The entry barrier is also high enough, but the market is held back by the fear of Ethereum 2.0 and that their investments may not pay off. Whereas the private individual doesn't have such a problem. They can always switch to other coins, which will offer a sufficient level of profitability. For example, switching to Ethereum Classic, which won't change the mine algorithm, and performed important updates for compatibility with Ethereum and protection from a 51% attack. Now, their hash rate is quite attractive, but for the miners to choose this cryptocurrency, it must also have an appropriate price. The same applies to Zcash or projects with an algorithm close to Bitcoin Cash. Everything will depend on whether Bitcoin leads all the altcoins to new highs, and if it does, it will generate revenue for miners, and that is where the best field of activity for the private sector is now. I also wanted to talk more about staking today, but I think we should do it in a separate video. Let me know in the comments if you're interested. In case you're an experienced miner, share your wisdom and tell us how your business is doing today. I'm sure many of our viewers would be interested. Support this video with a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that YouTube shows it to as many people as possible and make Bitcoin and mining even more popular. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. It's the Coin Post channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.